And now, a little bit about how we came to be. Calling is a funny thing. We can be chasing it for a long time, and we don't get to pick the timing of when it shows up. That's not to be mistaken for purpose, which I've always had, but finding that one mission that I wanted to devote the rest of my life to seemed a little elusive to me over more recent years. I had been interviewing for national executive director and CEO jobs in the nonprofit sector, and I had been one of the top candidates in many national search campaigns when I came across this opportunity in February of 2023 for a $25,000 More to Life grant to basically spend any way you wish to pursue your next chapter. It was the first time that I considered starting a nonprofit related to cancer because it was the first time that I came up with an idea that I didn't think anybody else was doing. Now, I didn't end up getting the grant, and I initially was thinking that it would fund the startup costs and that everything hinged on whether or not I ended up winning this. What I discovered afterward is that this needed to happen regardless. So this was a blessing. This is where our name came from. It was all about we're more than our diagnosis, and that our concerns are about more than just treatment itself. And what ended up happening after this in early March is what solidified it for me. This had to happen no matter what. In the first week of March 2023, I came across a post on a metastatic breast cancer patient forum that broke my heart. Not only did I share some of these personal experiences, but it was upsetting to me that there wasn't something I could do at that exact moment to help that person. If you view this on YouTube, you'll see that we're calling this person Sammy, but that's not their name. There are a lot of Sammys out there, and this is why More for Four needs to exist. Let's watch.
I've rented a large studio apartment in a co-op building for the last 28 years. When I got my stage 4 metastatic breast cancer diagnosis, I made the mistake of telling my landlord. The next thing you know, she changed my annual lease to a month-to-month rental. She called me the other day and said she has plans to sell my apartment because she needs money to buy a second home. I was in tears, as you might imagine. She knows I have no family and no place to go. I don't even have money to hire moving men. Honestly, I think she just wants to make sure I'm out of here before I die. Nobody will want to rent to me. Even someone renting an extra bedroom wants somebody who's out of the house during the day. You know, somebody who has a job. Of course, they'll ask me how I get my money. And they'll want to know why I qualify for SSDI. And I'll have to tell them about my terminal cancer. I may wind up in a shelter, which I obviously don't want to do. I probably won't have a choice, though. Please pray that my landlord doesn't find a buyer before I pass. The stress of what lies ahead is just overwhelming.
More for Four has evolved into something much more complex than what I wrote in my 300-word More to Life essay entry. Back then, what I wrote was, More for Four will serve individuals with stage 4 cancers who lack fiscal resources, family, and adequate support systems, from house sharing to a nationwide apartment program, vehicles for those without transportation, multi-month rental assistance while waiting for Social Security disability insurance approvals, repairing teeth damaged by chemo, and more. More for Four will create innovative solutions where no other resources exist. Stage 4 patients want to live longer, but we must live well, as there is more to life than not dying. Together, we can offer stage 4 patients more opportunity, security, connection, answers, belonging, and hope. While those early ideas are still very much a part of the overall More for Four plan, you're about to see how this exploded into a very complex organization meeting multifaceted needs of the stage 4 community. As we move into where we are today and where we're heading, I'll just briefly review our historical timeline to date. In March 2023, I entered into the More to Life grant essay competition, which we did not win. Right before the submission, there was the online post that made it quite clear that More for Four had to occur, and we just had to figure out a way to get there. In July 2023, the initial board of directors was formalized. In terms of our basic membership, we are still looking for one more person to add to the initial board who will serve for our entire first year. Articles of incorporation were filed with the state of Maryland on August 14th, 2023, which turned out to be my 59th birthday and was a symbolic thing for me. The first meeting of our board of directors was held on August 31st, and that's where we adopted our bylaws, our articles of incorporation, and our early direction. On October 5th, 2023, we submitted our 1023 IRS application for 501c3 tax-exempt status. We are currently looking for a fiscal sponsor, and this video is being recorded in November 2023. So if you see on our website that we are a freestanding nonprofit, you are looking at this late. If you look at it and you see that nobody's listed, you're going to notice we're not taking donations yet. So it depends on when you see this. We are very busy working on building infrastructure and long-term strategic planning. And I've been a nonprofit consultant for a really long time, actually almost 20 years. I'm needing to take some of my own medicine here in the fact that I want to be up and running today. But I always tell people, you have to have your ducks in a row. I want to see everything on paper before you make that move. And so that's what we're doing. Everything from policies and procedures to job descriptions and minimally our 5-year budget projections. We already have a preliminary list of everything from jobs and when certain things are slotted to come online, but we are still fine-tuning those things. We do expect that we will launch probably the first 3 programs in early to mid 2024. This is going to hinge on a number of things that we are about to talk about, in particular, bringing in some funding and other supports through volunteerism and so forth. So we will add to this timeline as we go. And now we'll move into our current state and what's up next.